You were hurt, probably misunderstood, you may have been disrespected, and everything in you wants to hold on to it, wants to identify with it, wants really not to let it go. Maybe you've tried to forgive the other person or the situation or whatever it may be, but it still lingers. The resentment, the pain, the story. But what if I told you true forgiveness has nothing to do with them, but everything to do with your own spiritual awakening? In this video today, I want to show you what forgiveness really means and how we can start to practice the true meaning of forgiveness and embody this spiritual practice in our lives so that we can really free ourselves from suffering. When someone wrongs us, the mind does what it always does. It creates a story. It creates a story about you, about the other person, and about the situation. The mind may say things like, they betrayed me, they wronged me, they lied to me, they disrespected me. And it may even say things, I'll never let that happen again, or I'll never get close to someone again, or I'll never put myself in a situation where I could potentially be hurt again. And then we hold on to that pain, sometimes for months, sometimes for years, maybe even decades, thinking that remembering the pain is what's protecting us. But what it actually does is it keeps us trapped in the past. Forgiveness isn't saying what happened was okay. That's not what it's saying. That's not the meaning of it. It's saying, I refuse to suffer because of it any longer. And when we understand the true meaning of forgiveness, we will no longer suffer anymore to the pain that we experience with another person or a situation. And this is where we can use relationships or people or situations where you may have been wronged, hurt, lied to, disrespected, misunderstood, and use these things as a perfect and wonderful opportunity to spiritually awaken. Because these are the things that help us awaken. Awakening doesn't really happen when things are amazing and happy times and everything's going well. Awakening usually comes in when life's difficult, when we're faced with challenges, and they are inevitable, and they are coming and have come and will continue to come because we grow through challenges. We grow through them, and it pushes us and forces us into our spiritual awakening. So we have to look at forgiveness in a few different ways, in a couple different ways. And the first one is that forgiveness happens naturally when you see that the past has no power over the present moment. This is something that Eckhart Tolle teaches and focuses on in his teachings, is about present moment awareness, coming into the now. Life is happening in the now. It's happening right now. Life is not happening in the past, and it's not happening in the future. You can only be here and now in this very moment. So to live in the past through your mind, through replaying it through your head or thinking about it all the time, is insanity, because you're out of touch with reality, which is basically the definition of insanity, to be out of touch with reality. And the only reality that we have is the present moment. So if you're always thinking about the future or you're always dwelling about the past, you can really define that as insanity, because life is only happening here and now. The ego also feeds on grievances. It uses pain to strengthen the identity, to strengthen the ego. We can boost ourselves up through our ego in positive ways too, but there's also the negative component of the ego, which it can say things like, I'm the victim, I'm the one that was hurt, I'm the one that was mistreated. And the ego can kind of use that to boost it up as well, to become identified, to strengthen the identity of the person. It can use the negative situations as well. And as long as we believe that, as long as we believe what the mind is saying, what the ego is saying, we're going to suffer. If we believe that we are this person that was hurt and mistreated, we're going to suffer. When we identify with the person, we're going to suffer. And who we are is again, it's beyond the physical person. It's beyond the personality. It's beyond thought and emotion. It's beyond the body. It's beyond all of the likes and the dislikes that you have. It's not really who you are. And when someone says something that hurts you or does something that hurts you, is it really hurting you or is it hurting the ego? Because who you are is unaffected by what anyone thinks, says, or believes about you or does to you. Even to the point of death, because you cannot die. Only the ego can die. Only the physical body can die. Your personality may change throughout your life as well. It's going to change. Your likes and dislikes will change. Your physical body is going to change. All of this, the person is going to change, is going to evolve in some sort of way. But who you are in your essence is stable. Who you are in your essence is unaffected by this world. It cannot hurt you. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can hurt you in this world, because who you are is really unaffected by all of it. The Course in Miracles quotes, this is like their famous quote, is that nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So this personal sense of self, this physical body, is not real, is going to pass eventually. But who you are in your essence is real, and nothing can threaten that, nothing can harm that, and no one can take it away from you. So when someone says something hurtful or harmful, they're doing it to the ego, and it's not you anyways. So you have to learn to see that, okay, yes, maybe I feel this way, this hurts, this is not pleasant, this is uncomfortable, but that is the motivation you need to go deeper. Use that to awaken and to say, I am not this person. What they're saying about me or what they're trying to do to me isn't really who I am. And that is a huge step in your spiritual awakening. It's a lot of progress made when you can do that and practice that in your daily life. And you can also then look at the other person and understand that what they're saying, if it's hurtful, if it's harmful, if it's abusive, if it's whatever it is that they're doing, you can start to view them as, you can start to see them as who they truly are. And what they're saying, if it's hurtful, harmful, whatever, isn't really who they are. It's just their ego. They're wrapped up into their ego. They're identified with their ego, and they're perpetuating ego towards you just in a negative way. So when you can see the light in them, when you can understand that who they are is really beyond that personal sense of self that they're projecting onto you, or at least attempting to. If you can see past that, see past their own ego and into the light that's within them, that is forgiveness. Forgiveness is about seeing past the illusion, about seeing the truth in them and who they truly are, which is holy, which is sacred, which is whole, which is complete, which is fulfilled. You are not separate from them. We are one and the same. That is forgiveness. To see the truth and light within them and to see past their own ego. Jesus taught this when he was living in the world. He taught how to forgive people and to see the light in them, to look past their wrongdoings. And that's how we can truly forgive. It's not really about saying like, this is okay and okay, I forgive you, like that sort of thing. That's nice, but you may still experience some lingering feelings around that. But when you can see the truth and you can focus on the truth and light in them and see that, it's going to help a lot more than identifying them as that person. Now you're saying they're not that person. Who they are is beyond that person. They are that truth, the light, the holiness that's within them. That's who they really are. They have mistaken themselves for their own ego, and they're coming from their own ego. Now, this doesn't mean that you should stay around people that are harmful or hurtful. It's not saying that you should like condone it or be okay with it and allow yourself to be mistreated and just see the light in them. No, that's not what I'm saying. You should definitely make decisions on separating yourself from that person, distancing yourself, and maybe practicing forgiveness from a distance if you feel that's necessary. But when we talk about forgiveness, this is what it means. It means to see past the illusion and to see the light in them. So how do we practice forgiveness? I want to give you a 3-step process that you can use today, and you can start to practice this in your daily life. So the first thing we want to do is really bring presence, which I talk about on this channel quite often, and just sit quietly somewhere and close your eyes. And I want you to think of the person or situation that still hurts. And instead of replaying the story in your head, feel what's here in the body. Allow yourself to go within and just sense and feel within the body. You're probably going to feel some tension. You're probably going to feel some energy there, maybe some anxiety. But stay with it. Breathe into it. And just let the mind be still for a minute. Forgiveness begins with awareness. We have to create space for this. We have to allow ourselves to come into the present moment. Step 2, recognize the ego's voice. Now, just listen to what the ego's saying. It's probably saying things like, they shouldn't have done that. Why did I put up with that? I can't let it go. They need to apologize first. They need to reach out to me. Whatever it's saying, whatever the ego is saying, just notice it. Don't believe it. That voice is not you. It's just the mind, thoughts or emotions coming through, not ultimate truth. And again, who you are is the awareness behind it. You are the eternal, the untouched. That's who you are. You're just aware of what's happening, not the actual thoughts and emotions and feelings. And step 3 is just to return to oneness. In your heart, I want you to say silently, I want peace instead of what I'm experiencing. I want to see them for who they truly are and myself differently. In that moment, you step out of the dream of separation from the other person and back into the presence of God. That's forgiveness. To see past the illusion of yourself and of the other person, and that we are one in the same, and that we are holy, sacred, spiritual beings within, and not actually the personal sense of self. And to see the light in the other person and yourself. That is what forgiveness ultimately means. And it's not about being morally superior either. It's about waking up. It's about spiritually awakening to who you truly are. It's about remembering that no one and nothing has ever touched your true self. And when you see this, even if it's just for a moment, the weight of the resentment begins to dissipate, begins to dissolve, like it was never real to begin with. If this speaks to you, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I share videos each week helping you return to presence, helping you awaken spiritually and live from the stillness within.